So today I'm going to talk to you about what it's been like during midterms week here in Korea. You can't tell, I kind of feel dead inside. I also see that I look like I'm sponsoring Pepsi. I am not. But it is delicious. I definitely have been eating really bad this week since midterms started. Like, I just got done taking one, so if I sound overwhelmed and like confused at what to do with myself, it's because, yeah, I just took a midterm and here I am doing this video about midterms in Korea. Now, you probably would think, oh, midterms are probably the same everywhere else. I assure you they are not, which is why I was so stressed this week. If you've been watching my Snapchat, I have been questioning everything and eating everything. I've been stress eating a lot, that's for sure. But like, my biggest issue with like taking midterms here in Korea versus back home is like back home, I know my professors. I know, like, because, you know, typically when you have your major and your minors, your professors start to be repeated, or you can get like a feel of the professor and stuff, so you kind of know what to expect on tests. Here, I had no freaking clue. Like, I didn't know how to prepare, and like we hadn't had like, what I've noticed in my classes here in Korea is like back home we have like different projects, different grades before a midterm, and then we have our midterm, so you like get an idea of what the professor wants you to mainly focus on. Here, I swear to God, I have not had a grade until midterms. Midterm, that is my first grade. We haven't had anything else. We haven't had any work. It's just going to seminar, hearing the professor speak, going through the PowerPoints, and that is it. And of course, like reading the chapters, that's a lot of information, so like trying to narrow down what they want to ask you. And something that I just realized I hadn't had a problem with, I've had 3 midterms, and like my other 2 I didn't really have a problem with like how the test was laid out or how they were asked. But in this last one I just took, the professor, his English is good. Sometimes he gets ahead of himself and his like words start to like overlap and whatnot, and I'm kind of like, what did you say? And I have to listen really closely. I swear on this test I could not figure out what he was trying to say. It's like one of those sayings where if you read it really fast you're like, what? Because like 1 or 2 words would be missing to make the like sentence very like, I don't know the word for it. And when I was trying to explain to my friend, she was like, me trying to write a sentence in Spanish, like if you read it slowly you can probably see what I'm trying to say, but it like all together really fast, it doesn't make any sense. There's no flow. So that was hard for this last test. I took something else. Oh my gosh, I don't know if like plain pieces of like loose leaf paper or it's just not a thing, because I know when I got here I tried to look for loose leaf paper at like E-Mart and at the different like university stores. They do not have it. You have to buy a whole freaking notebook. Here's one of the notebooks that I have right now, but I cannot find loose leaf paper. I feel like that doesn't exist. So when we took this test, I may be over dramatic, but the paper that they gave us for our answers, I swear to God, it was like this big and like this wide. It probably could have covered like my entire chest. Like, that was our answer sheet. Not in one of my classes, but in all of my classes where I had midterms, that was our answer sheet. And I swear to God, I felt like I was signing the Declaration of Independence because it was so long, and then I could roll it up and like, I don't even know. It was crazy long and I didn't understand like, this is my answer sheet? It wasn't. But yeah, that was one of the things that even my I took a test with another one of my American friends and 2 of my Swedish friends, and they were like, what is this? I'm like, yep, this is our answer sheet. And something else, I don't know if you guys are like me in like, my study habits are not the best. Like, I'm in the honors college back at my university, so I must be doing something right. But I'm not the one that studies a week in advance or even 3 days in advance. I study the night before. That is the way that I flow, and that's just the way that I study. So yeah, I was like, I'm gonna do the same thing that I do back home. I'm gonna just study the night before my test and cramp and memorize. And it made me feel bad and even more like stressed and self-conscious when some of the people, the Korean students in my classes, were were going to the library 3-4 days before the actual test to study, and they would stay there all night to stress how much like they study a lot. The fact that we don't have curfew for the next, like this week, and we didn't have curfew last week, and we don't have curfew a little bit next week, because people will literally stay out till past 1 a.m. in the library studying. I am not that person. Like, I will stay in my room and like study for a couple of hours, and I'm like, it is what it is at this point. But like, that stressed me out, because I'm like, oh my gosh, am I supposed to be doing more than what I'm actually doing? I don't know, but I definitely procrastinated a lot. Again, on my Snapchat, you could see that I was not doing what I need to do. I just finished the whole season of Stranger Things in 2 days. It was definitely an amazing show. But yeah, that's what I did when I should have been studying. But I will say, I don't think I did too awful. I also contributed to the fact that they were studying so much because English isn't their first language, and of course our tests were all in English, and some of them had essay questions. So I can see maybe if I didn't know the language fluently and it wasn't my first language, then maybe I would want to study a whole lot more. That's what I'm gonna say. And another thing here, like, I'm used to, like, if I get a lot of questions wrong and I get a 70, I get a 70. No, here all the grades are curved. Every single class, the grades are curved. Do you know how much of a blessing that is? Unless there's that one asshole that breaks the curve. I hate you so much. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that if it's curved based, then my grades are gonna be so much better, because I don't feel like any of my tests I was like awful on, but I definitely should have studied some more and stopped watching Stranger Things and Outlander. I can't help it. Netflix will be the death of me. One thing that I do love is, like, I have classes Monday through Thursday, and of course each class happens twice a week, but I have my midterms Monday and Tuesday, and now I don't have any more classes, so that is like amazing. I know most of the time back home, if I have a midterm, you know, Monday of that class, and I have that class again Wednesday, he's not gonna cancel it. We're still having class on Wednesday, but luckily they're like, okay, you took your midterm, you can have a break, and I'm like, thank you, I need it. I'm still counting on this whole curve system, because back at my university, that wasn't really a thing. I know in high school, in chemistry, AP chemistry, we definitely had like curved grades, but here all my classes are curved. So again, I am hopeful, especially since we only have like 4 grades in all of my classes, which are midterms, group projects. I literally have a group project in every single class, and then your final, and then participation. It's not huge, but it's still like a bigger ordeal here than it was for me back home. I mean, if I talked, I talked. If I didn't, I didn't. But here they're like, you better say something every single class, at least cough. And I'm like, okay, participation. Midterms have definitely been different. Again, I think the whole not having any kind of like tests or quiz or even activities before the midterms kind of like was different, because it was like, learn all this information, PowerPoints, reading, listen to me talk, midterm. What am I supposed to do with all that information? Which probably explains why people study 3-4 days in advance. I have another midterm, but that's not until next week. I can't think of any tips to really give you guys when you come and study here in Korea and you're going through midterms week, other than to definitely look at the PowerPoints, take notes. And like some of them, I'll be honest, I haven't touched a lot of the books for my classes. Some of them you might be able to, but I've realized like the PowerPoints are their main focus. Like if it's in the PowerPoint, that means they really want you to focus on this. And sometimes like the chapters they'll assign like, I don't know, 60 pages for one night. And it's like, you're not gonna have a test over all of that, plus the other readings. So definitely take notes, go through the PowerPoints again, get into group sessions, like study groups, because I did that twice, and I think that really helped me with 2 of my midterms, was like getting together with like other Korean students, other foreigner students, and like going through what we think the professor will do. And especially the Korean students, because they're familiar with taking tests here, and so they probably know like, this is how this professor might ask this question, this is what they might think is important. yeah, so definitely notes, go to and hold your own like group study sessions. Don't procrastinate. I'll be honest, I might still procrastinate, but I understand why that might have bit me in the butt a couple of times on some of the questions I was asked in some of my classes. But yeah, do not procrastinate. Be prepared to have to sign this Declaration of Independence thing that I'm talking about. When you see this paper, don't be caught off guard like, oh my gosh, what the hell is this? I don't know if that's a tip more than like, be prepared to see this. You're gonna be surprised and be like, what is this? I think it's pretty awesome myself. Go to your professor's office hours. I know this is like pretty much a general rule for wherever you're studying. Go to the office hours. I think most of the time my professors are probably begging us to go. If you don't go to like learn the information, definitely go to show face. Even though you're a foreigner and you already stand out, still it's better to show face, because what I've learned not only here in Korea, but even back home, is like when the professor recognizes your face and recognizes you and your name, they're more likely to help you and guide you. And if you go to office hours, it also helps you to like narrow down what they feel is important. Even if they don't directly tell you, hey, this is going to be on the test, you just listen to what they're talking about, how they're talking, and you can get a grasp on what they find is important, because they do make their own tests. So definitely go to office hours. I can't really think of anything else to tell you guys. I just wanted to go ahead and express my like stress and like hopefulness, the things that are different here compared to back home. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Wish me luck on my next midterm. But yeah, I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my Instagram and my Snapchat so you can see what I'm watching on Netflix. And I will see you on the next time. Bye.